This is a love story, a happy ending from an inauspicious beginning, a grand passion that has lasted my whole life. I am Artemisia Gentileschi. All right, you can stop whispering, you are correct. I am that Artemisia. Artemisia Gentileschi, the one who was raped. Artemisia, even my name speaks of art. Artemisia. Artemisia, bitter herbs. Artemisia, gift of Artemis, the goddess of chastity. That's ironic, don't you think? Famous for being raped. Not for my wonderful paintings in all the major galleries of the world. Not for making a living in the man's world of art in the 17th century. No, not for mixing with the great minds of my time. I am just 17, living with my father and younger brothers in Rome, motherless. My father is an artist. Our small house a meeting place for other artists and hangers-on, collaborators, mentors and students of my father. Signor Caravaggio. Now he's a character. Brilliant painter, but a bit of a scoundrel. I am safe, though. He only has eyes for the boys. I learn a lot from him. I so want to paint, and unusually for the time, Father gives me every encouragement. He recognises my talent, even says I am better than him. He arranges for me to have private tuition on perspective from Signor Tassi, a successful, charming artist 15 years my senior. I learn a lot from him, too. He certainly changes my perspective. I'm having my lesson with Tassi, and the house is unusually quiet. My father and his assistants are working on an altarpiece in the church across the Tiber. Signor Tassi, call me Agostino, leans over me to demonstrate his drawing. I feel the warmth of his body invading my space, and then I'm being pushed backwards onto the couch, his hands pushing up my skirts. I'm in shock, not believing what is happening. I'm a virgin. There is no consent. I don't lead him on. He knows I don't want it. He is finished, and I am sobbing in humiliation and anger. He says he will marry me. That will make things all right and will placate my father. I know in this instant that there are very few options for tainted goods, marriage or the streets, and so I sob my agreement. I am that Artemisia Gentileschi, famous for being raped. Then, to add insult to injury, Tassi runs away, steals one of my best paintings. Apparently, he's already married. Gossip says to a prostitute. He isn't even called Tassi. Has a record as long as your arm, but he can paint. Father is incensed. He's taking the whole thing as an insult to him personally. Stolen art and damaged goods. It devalues him. And so, without thought for my feelings, he takes Tassi to court. I am that Artemisia, famous for entertaining Roman society with a scandalous trial, almost pornographic in its detail. The trial lasts 7 months, poring over the event. I have to live through the whole thing in detail again. A lot more of Tassi's grubby past emerges. But he denies the rape. My word against his. The usual scenario, who to believe? Who to believe? The lying scumbag with a false identity, or the 17-year-old inexperienced sheltered girl? Oh, that's hard. The judge decides on a fail-safe way of establishing the truth. I am to be tortured. Yes, you heard correctly. They are torturing me to see if I am lying. Thumb screws. They crush my beautiful artist's hands, whilst he stands there untouched. They don't want to damage his hands. He has to earn a living. Bitter herbs and chastity. I am resolute and unbowed. Tassi is found guilty. His punishment, banishment. They never carry it out. He has friends in high places. The Pope is a fan. It changes me. I don't hide in shame. I seize my opportunities. I chase my passion. Father quickly marries me off to a harmless, mediocre Florentine artist, and I am whisked away from Rome. It isn't a love match, not my grand passion, just convenience. We have 4 children, and only my daughter survives, and my husband and I go our separate ways. My fame, or infamy, goes before me, and I get commissions from the rich and the famous. When they discover I'm rather good, the word spreads. I call in favours from friends like Galileo, introductions to wealthy clients. I'm a good businesswoman. Learn to use my connections, name drop, network, I think men call it. I travel Europe unaccompanied by a male to keep me safe. What do I have to fear? My love story. My grand passion. It isn't for some man. I've learned perspective about men. No, my true sustaining love is for my art. I am a painter. My canvas is big and dramatic. I want to spend time with my passion, and I do. And what do I paint? Strong women, of course, often biblical, enacting their justice or revenge, often by decapitation. I lost my maidenhead, they their heads. I wonder where that inspiration came from. But I also paint beautiful images of women, self-portraits of me as an artist. You can see my work in the famous galleries of the world. So Tassie got away with it, a bit of a lad in the history books, and me? I'm famous for having been raped. Artemisia Gentileschi, isn't she the one who was raped? Next time you see one of my paintings, stop and look. My true love. I was exceptional because of my talent. Don't pity me. Applaud that talent and my survival in a man's world. Celebrate how marvellous I am. And as you do, think of all the other girls and women punished for the lust of men, subjected to humiliation and disbelief at trials, if it ever gets that far, or forced to marry their rapists, or stoned to death for being raped and bringing shame to the family. Don't just stand there gazing. Do something about it.